Hi guys, and welcome to episode 6 of More About Culture. This week, before we start off on our topics, I want to give a couple of shout outs to two podcasts, local podcasts in Duval. The first one is Music Mondays. It is a podcast you can find on Facebook on the Music Mondays Facebook page. Every Monday they review music from different local artists. I know a few people have actually inboxed me about me doing reviews on local music. I don't do that, but if you're looking for someone who does, you can refer to Music Mondays on Facebook. They have their email and information where you can send your music to, and they'll do a review of it on their YouTube page on Mondays. My second podcast I want to shout out is The Discussion Room. It is a podcast that is done by Erica Hayes, and it is on Facebook as well. I believe she has a couple episodes on the Anchor app. I believe you can find that on Apple Podcasts as well. But she just discussed different topics such as relationships, things like that of that nature. And you can find that once again on Facebook. And those are my Black business shout outs for the week. Okay, so my first topic I want to get into for this week is going to be, once again, I'm coming to y'all talking about August Alsina, y'all. I'm really tired of talking about him, and hopefully this will be the last week of this. But he dropped a new song called Entanglements with Rick Ross. The song is garbage in my opinion. I see a lot of people do like it. I don't really understand how people like it because I can't understand anything that he's saying. The auto-tune is heavy. I don't know what he's talking about. Rick Ross verse sounds fire though, but I don't really understand why Rick Ross would even entangle himself into this song. I don't get it. I think it's beneath Rick Ross. That's all I got. Once again, hopefully I will not have to talk about him another week because I'm over August Alsina, and it's just a big disappointment for me because I was such a big fan of him back in the day. So for his career to take the turn that he has taken, and for him to be popular now, not because of the music, but because of him sleeping with Jada, it's just a complete mess. My second thing I want to get into is Nicki Minaj is pregnant. Congrats to her. Don't really have too much to say about that either, other than that she's pregnant. She dropped some pictures. Check them out on Instagram. I don't know. I don't have that much to say about it. Next. Sorry y'all, to my next topic, another person I do not want to talk about ever again. It's like every time I do a video I say I don't want to talk about these people, and I end up talking about them because they continue to be complete and utter idiots. And you know what, let me stop. Let me not call Kanye an idiot because he clearly is some mental health issues going on there, and I guess we should be, more sensitive about it. But with him, you don't know if it's mental illness, you don't know if it's stuff for him to get ready for him to launch new stuff, because it seems like every time he have one of these breakdowns, it's him getting into some type of new venture. Before he had a mental breakdown before, and he had some new shoes come out, and then he had another mental breakdown, and he had a fashion line coming out, and now he's having another mental breakdown, and his whole presidency thing was surrounding it, even though I guess he did quote unquote drop out of the race for president. And I'm sorry if I'm looking down, y'all. I'm looking through my notes so I can give y'all some of the highlights of what Kanye had going on. So, and you know what, I'm just gonna give y'all a summary, and I'm gonna give y'all some conspiracy theories I seen online as well, as to some of the stuff he was talking about in his rants, because a lot of it didn't make sense. A lot of it was broken sentences, and it just didn't make sense. So I'm going to read a couple of them, and then I'm going to tell you all what I seen the reason of the things he was saying. So in one of the rants, he mentioned Larsa Pippen, which is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, who we've known to be friends with the Kardashians, and also for having an affair with Future. And he mentioned Drake, which we know he has had some long-standing feud with. Now, from what I'm reading on the internet, the reason why he mentioned Larsa, apparently Kanye is about to air their family business out. And apparently Larsa has now been sleeping with Tristan Thompson, which is the baby daddy of Khloe Kardashian. Now, I don't know if it's true. Like I said, this is just stuff that I seen on Twitter and things of that nature. The Twitter conspiracy theorists have put these things together. I don't know where they're getting this information from, but apparently the Kardashians follow Larsa. Honestly, y'all, this is stuff I don't care about, but I'm going to, get into it, because my thing with this is, if it is true that Larsa slept with Tristan Thompson, I'm trying to figure out why I haven't seen a uproar and outrage from the Kardashians when they tried to ruin Jordyn Woods, who they didn't. She got even more popular after y'all, tried to diminish her by saying that she messed with Tristan Thompson when your man the one kissed her. But it's out now that Larsa Pippen, who was like besties with y'all, slept with Tristan Thompson. I ain't heard a peep. All I heard was y'all unfollow her on social media. Then, with the Drake mention, y'all know they've been saying for a minute that Drake had some type of relationship with Kim Kardashian back in the day. And I guess Kanye still feels some type of way about it, which is why he continues to keep mentioning Drake. Kanye also mentioned that Kim tried to get him into some type of mental institution, which he needs to be in. If he's as crazy as everything seems, then he needs to be in some type of mental institution. He needs help. I have been saying for the past week, I don't understand how she is married to this man and hasn't got him committed somewhere. It baffles me how quiet that they've been since the whole family, how quiet they've been since he's been on these recent rants. These rants are worse than his usual rants to me, and they've been very quiet about it, not saying anything. Kim said some things yesterday, basically saying how it's hard dealing with somebody that's bipolar, his episodes, things like that. Blase. All in all, I just hope Kanye gets the help that he needs. Somebody does need to get him committed somewhere. He needs his phone taken away. He needs to be off social media. He doesn't need to be worrying about any fashion lines. He doesn't need to be worrying about any type of presidency. It's just certain things I just don't think he needs to be worrying about in his mental state. And yes, he's a grown man, but at the end of the day, I feel like somebody else needs to step in some form of fashion and just sit him down somewhere. It's just no reason why he should be on social media doing what he's doing, and it's just confusing people. And I want y'all to drop in the comments, so how do y'all feel now about the whole Kanye being y'all president? Because ever since this has happened, a lot of people on my timeline has been real quiet. I mean, everybody was, oh yeah, Kanye for president, he's gonna be better than Biden and all this stuff like that. But since he's been going nuts, so I haven't heard too many people or seen too many people like, oh well, he'll still be a better president. I haven't seen that. So if y'all still feel that way, I would like y'all, to drop it in the comments. My next topic is, we're now into another week and we still don't know what happened with Meg Thee Stallion. We don't know why Tory Lanez shot Meg. I really want to know, this is something I'm not going to leave alone until I get the hard cold facts as to why this has happened. Meg has been getting pretty pissed off with the fact that people have been making jokes about it, and I think it's very insensitive. As y'all know, I listen to Joe Budden podcast. I'm a big fan of it. They even cracked a couple jokes about it. although, you know, they were funny jokes, it still was very insensitive. At the end of the day, this lady did get shot. It's nothing funny about that. And it seems like it's, you know, it's in some domestic capacity as well. It's nothing funny about a woman being shot. Period. It's not nothing funny about anybody being shot, really, but definitely this situation is nothing funny about it. Drea made some statements on a podcast where she predicted what may have happened, and she said she feel like it was some Bobby and Whitney type situation. They got some type of Bobby and Whitney type of love, and she wants a relationship where somebody doesn't want her to leave so bad that they would shoot her. Drea is one of those people who's been dumb for a long time, so she just doesn't know what to say out of her mouth. Of course, now she has backtracked and apologized. Meg then proceeded to call her a dumb bee, and it went on from there. Meg gets tired of y'all making jokes about her getting shot. It's not funny. It's not funny. But I do want to know what happened. And she said once she's ready to talk about it, she will. And I'm trying to figure out when is she going to be ready to talk about it, because I want to know what happened. I want to know why Meg Thee Stallion was shot by Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez hasn't been on social media. This is somebody who was on social media heavy every day, dropping new music every other day, quarantine radio. He has been a staple for Instagram since we've been dealing with coronavirus. So him and Meg. So for y'all to not even say anything, I guess it's none of our business, but at the end of the day, it kind of is our business. And god darn it, I want to know what happened. So hopefully, I said this last video, hopefully by the time I do my next video, we'll have more information on what happened with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Alright guys, and then for my last topic, which is the title, the reason for the title of this episode, which is Legends, is the Snoop versus DMX versus battle that happened last night. I'm going to go ahead and say this. This was the best versus that has happened thus far. Number one on my list. Two legends, Snoop Dogg and DMX, live and in full effect. I mean, it was amazing to see. First of all, I want to say it's great to see DMX sober. It's great to see DMX healthy. It's great to see DMX in good spirits, but still is DMX. He's not watered down or nothing like that. He still acts. He was still snapping. He was still talking his trash, doing his little two-step, or whatever it was he called himself doing. My dog was out of breath though. I know he probably slept the whole day today, trying to keep up with Snoop. Snoop is still Snoop. Snoop still vibing and living life like he in his 20s. I mean, that's all. That's all. I mean, he that's the that's at the cookout, and that's the you want to hang with, and that's just the vibes that I got from him. It was just great to see. My personal winner I had was Snoop. I'm more of a DMX fan than Snoop. I'm a fan of them both, but I'm more of an X fan than Snoop, so I'm not being biased when I say this. I felt like Snoop won. I had Snoop 10-5, but I had them having 6 ties all together. So I guess when Snoop didn't whoop him, but he beat him by like a song or two. To me, in my personal opinion, I seen a lot of people say DMX won, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter who won. Just to see both of those guys in the same room performing hit songs that my generation or the generation before grew up off of. Sorry, y'all. To see that just on our phones. Who would have ever thought back in the 90s or 2000s that we would be able to look on our phones and see DMX and Snoop Dogg give us a free performance? I mean, they literally performed every song that night, and they gave us a bonus song. I don't even think they noticed they did 21 songs instead of 20. My highlight for me was the freestyle at the end. Snoop, you know, did his usual freestyle, being cool. You know, Snoop talk gangster, but it's just real smooth and cool. And, you know, he tried to mask it with cool phrases and things like that, and then to hear DMX then freestyle right after him and talk about stabbing and robbing folks. I mean, hey, I ain't encouraging it, but I mean, my God, that was just, I don't know. It was just the battle of the dogs, but it was like the cool dog, and then it was like the gangster dog. But they both gangster, but just in different ways. To see DMX perform What These Bees Want and to name off every woman in that song and on that second verse without catching a breath. My dog was tired after it. But to see that, to see Snoop perform Gin and Juice, and to see DMX perform Money Cash. Excuse my language, y'all, 'cause y'all know I don't curse on this channel. But to see, well, this ain't a cuss word, but to see DMX perform Money Cash Hoes, I mean, this was our childhood live and in effect on our phones. I couldn't ask for anything better. Probably the highlight of my week. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna probably watch it again on YouTube. It was just that good. I just couldn't have asked for anything better. I do hope we get new DMX music. He said, I watched cause every time after the battle I always watch Snoop and not Snoop, Swizz and Timbaland do their recaps at the end, cause sometimes you'll catch who will do the next verses. And Swizz was saying how him and X were recording an album. I would love to hear DMX on some Swizz beats. Give me the old throwback Rough Rider sound. I love to hear it. I don't care if it is 2020. That sound to me will never die. I didn't even realize how good that music, well, I knew it then, but I didn't realize how good that music still sounds to this day. Like the authenticity of Snoop's and DMX music can never be duplicated. Those are two artists that you're never going to hear somebody sound just like them. Nipsey did remind us of Snoop, but Snoop is still Snoop. You're never going to get that from anybody else, and I appreciate that. That was definitely for the culture, and I hope the next verses is just as good. I want to see more verses like that. Classic rap between that one and Jadakiss and Fab. Those were the two best verses in my personal opinion. And of course Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, but I'm more of a rap fan. So that was just great for me to see. DMX is in my top 10 rappers of all time, and Snoop is in my top 15, probably 20. But I loved it, man. I didn't have any complaints about it. I could rant a little bit more about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video. My next video, I do hope to make it a majority hip-hop episode. I'm gonna have to put something together. If y'all have any ideas of anything y'all would like me to talk about in regards to hip-hop, drop it in the comments. I want to thank y'all once again for sticking with me for these last few episodes. I plan for this to get bigger and better. Like I said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all. Bye.